living like it's 1726. It's a warm, sunny morning in central Texas. The sun is blazing, there isn't a cloud in the sky, the humidity is up, and it's supposed to reach 105 degrees today. You glance over at the thermostat. It's set to 69 degrees. You go to the refrigerator to grab some milk out for a cup of coffee. Suddenly, the power goes out. The AC shuts off, and the refrigerator is no longer running. At first, you think it's just a simple power outage. You walk outside to see if anyone else is outside. Maybe somebody hit a power pole. Your wife is at work because she worked the night shift, so you pull out your phone to give her a call. When you press the power button, nothing. Did I forget to charge it overnight? You think to yourself. Nevertheless, you walk over to your neighbor's house to see if you can use their cell phone. When you get there, you notice their phone is dead too. Maybe it's just a weird coincidence. Maybe it isn't. So you decide to get in your car and drive around the block to see if anyone else has power. You get in your brand new BMW and turn the key. Nothing. Not even a click. No chime. Nothing. You've just witnessed an EMP, or electromagnetic pulse. This is usually caused by either a massive solar storm or a nuclear detonation high in the atmosphere. A powerful EMP can disable or destroy much of the modern electronics we rely on every single day. The power isn't coming back on today, probably not tomorrow either. And if this was a large-scale EMP, life as you've known it just changed in a matter of seconds. For now, while the power may not work, the water supply in the pipes will. The first thing that you're going to want to do is plug up the bathroom tub and fill it all the way to the top. Next, you're going to want to fill all jugs and containers with water from the faucets. In most cases, when the power goes out, the water still runs. This is because the water in the pipes are already pressurized from the municipal water supply. For the bathtub water, you're going to want to use bleach in order to purify it. You'll use about 8 drops of bleach for 1 gallon of water. You're going to want to let it stand for about 30 minutes or so and mix it in well. The average American bathtub holds about 30 to 50 gallons of water. And if you've seen my previous videos, you would know that I personally recommend 3 gallons of water per person per day. A single bathtub is going to go a long ways, but it's not going to go very far if you've got a family. You're going to want to fill all the bathtubs and all your containers filled with water as soon as possible, because the water pressure in the pipes will not last forever. Right now, your top priority is getting water, not food, not protection, not medical. Water. For the first 12 hours, most people are probably going to assume it's just a normal blackout, and life will continue pretty much as usual. Between 12 and 24 hours, people are going to start realizing something isn't right, especially when the power still hasn't come back on. The first 24 to 48 hours could very well be the last day or two of normalcy. Grocery stores will likely start running low on supplies, people will be searching for answers, and rumors will begin spreading. After about 48 hours, that's when things could really start changing. Depending on the community, you might begin seeing isolated looting in some areas, while in others, neighbors come together and form mutual assistance groups, or MAGs, to share resources, watch over their neighborhoods, and help one another. In this series, we're going to talk about what it would be like to live our modern lives through a large, widespread EMP, and how our ancestors lived here before us, and how they made it work. But before we go back to 1726, let's talk about what's sitting in your kitchen right now. Because you've got a ticking clock in there, and most people don't even realize it. Your refrigerator just became an icebox, and your freezer just became a slightly better icebox. Neither one of them is making cold anymore. All they're doing is holding on to whatever cold is left inside, and every single time you open that door, you're letting it out. So here's rule number 1. Keep the doors shut. A refrigerator will keep food safe for about 4 hours if you leave it closed. A full freezer will hold its temperature for about 48 hours. A half-full freezer, only about 24. That's it. That's your window. So what do? You eat in order. Fridge first. All that milk, the leftovers, the eggs, the lunch meat, that's your menu for the next day or two. Don't be shy about it either. This is not the time to ration the food that's going to spoil anyway. Eat it, feed it to your family, feed it to your neighbors if you've got extra. Wasted food helps nobody. Freezer second. As things start to thaw, you cook them. And here's a little trick. If you've got a charcoal or propane grill sitting on your back porch, like most folks in Texas do, you've got a working stove. That grill just became the most valuable appliance you own. Cook that meat while it's still cold to the touch, and cooked meat will last a little longer than raw. Pantry last. Your canned goods, your rice, your beans, your pasta, that stuff isn't going anywhere. It'll still be there in a month. Don't touch it until the cold food is gone. Now, if you've seen my video on emergency food storage, you already know where I stand on the pantry. Calories per dollar. Boring, shelf-stable food that your family will actually eat. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But for now, just understand that the family with 3 weeks of rice and beans in the closet is in a completely different situation than the family with a DoorDash habit and half a jar of pickles. And this is where 1726 comes in. Because here's the thing. The folks living on this land 300 years ago didn't have a freezer full of chicken thighs slowly going bad. They didn't have that problem because they never depended on electricity in the first place. Everything about how they stored food was designed around one simple fact. There is no cold air coming out of the wall. They had a smokehouse instead of a freezer, salt pork instead of vacuum-sealed bacon, a root cellar dug into the ground where potatoes, onions, and carrots would keep for months at a steady 50-something degrees, summer or winter. If they were lucky enough to have a creek or a spring on the property, they had a spring house, a little stone building built right over the running water where the milk and butter stayed cool. They dried their corn. They salted and smoked their meat. They pickled and preserved just about everything that grew because they knew that come February, the garden wasn't going to feed anybody. Nothing about their life depended on a power grid because there wasn't one. And that's the mindset shift I want you to start making through this series. It's not about being scared of losing your electronics. It's about understanding that everything the grid does for you, cooling your food, pumping your water, cooking your dinner, is a job that human beings figured out how to do without it for thousands of years. The knowledge isn't gone, it's just been forgotten. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about the one that'll sneak up on you faster than hunger ever will. Because it's July in Central Texas, it's 105 degrees outside, and your house was never designed to be livable without air conditioning. We're going to talk about how to keep your family cool when the AC is gone for good.